Alright y'all, welcome back to another YouTube video. If you are a new subscriber, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. So today I'm literally just gonna take out my hair. These are very much outgrown and I just was in denial about taking them out, and I don't know if y'all can tell, but like the hair is literally like growing out of the braid. Like, do y'all see that? Like, that's, yeah. And they don't even look that bad in the back, but in the front, babes, yeah, that shit look atrocious. So I'm just gonna take off my nails, not my nails, take off my hair with these long nails on, and I just feel like this is not gonna go well. And I have to be somewhere at 5:30 tomorrow, 5:30 in the morning. So I don't know if this is gonna get done tonight. If I'm, all of this has to come out tonight, and it has to be styled for tomorrow morning. Like, so I don't know if I'm just not going to sleep or what, but something gotta give. So I'm gonna take this out and I'm gonna come back, because this is gonna be a minute. I'm about to get me a rat tail comb because I'm not gonna be sitting here taking on, no babe, it's just not gonna work. And I was gonna cut them a little higher, but I'm like, I'm just gonna cut my hair. So I'm gonna do that and we're gonna come back. We'll see what's up. So I just took it out. And as most of you know, my hair was dyed like this copper color. Still retaining a lot of the color, if I'm being honest. Excuse me. My roots are still very black though, like they really grew out. I have another box of hair dye. I just don't think I want to dye it because I know it's gonna be two different colors. And I just don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I just rock the outgrown hair or outgrown. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put some conditioner in this. I don't have time to wash it. Don't call me dirty, because y'all be going months without washing your hair. I only been a couple weeks. So, yeah, I don't have time to wash it. So I'm about to put some leave-in conditioner in it and get to work on this puppy, because something gotta get done. Something gotta give, because this ain't giving. Alright, y'all. So this is not the final product, but this is basically it. Like, I'm just gonna take out the braids tomorrow. But essentially, like, the braid out is not giving braid out anymore, but it is what it is. It's gonna be cold, so I'm not really worried about humidity. I'm gonna take these little twisties out, and I got like little, like, I don't even know what you wanna call them in the front, the little rubber bands, and it's just gonna be real poofy and voluminous and all that extra shit. I'm just gonna put my bonnet down and call it a fucking night. I honestly don't feel like doing my hair, and this is exactly why I leave my hair braided, because I don't like doing my hair. I'm very lazy, I'm very low maintenance. I like to leave braids in for an substantial amount of time, and then take them out when, you know, necessary. But because I do them myself, they quite literally don't last as long as they would if I had gotten them done myself. However, am I gonna make it work? Absolutely, because I'm gonna keep doing my hair. So yeah, I'm gonna put this in like a loose bun, if you will, loose little pony, and call it a night. And I'm gonna figure out what I'm wearing for tomorrow, because I have no clue. I look like a little dinosaur right now. That's crazy. But if all else fails, all this going in a bun. Never fails. Never. You can never miss with a bun. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can never miss with a bun. My little Afro pick is in the car, so if all else fails, I can just pick it out. I kind of want to like braid it up, but I'm lazy. But I'm gonna braid it up. I should braid it up. I'm gonna braid it up. I'm gonna braid it up. Oh wow. Okay. Anyways, so I just finished my hair. I would take this bonnet off, but I really don't feel like it. I just did some dookie braids straight back, and then I did the little pieces that got crisscross on the top. Like I said, if all else fails tomorrow morning, which y'all will see, this will be going in a bun, because buns would never fail you. You feel what I'm saying? And I can at least leave some curly parts out, but like right now it's giving wavy. And if it's not giving wavy by tomorrow morning, it's going in the bun regardless. But yeah, so I'm about to get ready to sleep. Get ready to sleep. Get ready. Actually, hold that thought. I gotta find an outfit. Hold on, y'all. Outfit number 1. Black undershirt, black leggings, brown boots, and brown like cover up, I guess. I don't know. Hey y'all, so this is when we first arrived. This is just a picture, and this is us kind of inside the building, and we were ready to go to the very bottom floor. So this is kind of us on the bottom floor here. We're ready to go on the lower level, and this part was definitely interesting.
We found ourselves at last taken away. Death was more preferable than life.
So, all of these are not in particular order, but this is just some of the statues that we saw and things of that nature. This was really interesting because it was all about blackface and how they treated African Americans. Like, this really blew my mind when I saw that. This is some more, how they thought of us as caricatures, and how many stereotypes have stemmed from this, and why blackface is just like not acceptable. Like, I don't know why cosplay and playing us as a caricature is something that was so normalized back in the day, but they didn't value us. So like, you can kind of see it in the photos here. This was one of the buses that they had. I had to brighten this clip up just a little bit on the app because it was kind of dim, but like, as you can see, they had luggage for whites only. They had a water fountain that was functioning, and it was relatively decent. And then you go to the back, and this was their bathroom and lounge area for the men. As you can see, it's very spacious in there. And then you kind of go back a little bit further, and this was for the black people on the bus. And when I tell y'all, this was literally like a fourth of the bus. It was so small. You can see the difference as like how much seating that they have. It's ridiculous. They didn't have an oversized luggage area either. So when you kind of come out, this was their restroom. I didn't get it while I was inside, but you can see like the difference in size between the white people and the black people.
Maybe 11. Or somebody who didn't have a hat say, oh, go to the men's hat shop, she'll get something up there. As long as you had a pretty face and personality, you didn't have to be tall.
Alright, y'all, so this wasn't filmed in any particular order or put together in any particular order, but this was the point of Pines Cabin. It was basically like for slaves as a shelter, but like they never got freedom. So like, not freedom, but like privacy. As you can see, all of these doors and, you know, they're open spaces. Like, you can literally just see anything and everything from the outside.
The 16th Street Church, it served as a rally.
This next clip really made me emotional because it really brought back to the fact that, like, we've come so far, but we still haven't made it far enough. I'm just starting to tear up thinking about it, but it's just like, you know, we have a black president. Like, we've come so far as terms of slavery, but it's like we always sit back a couple 100 feet. Like, it's ridiculous how we have these people that are black and in such high positions, and we're still not making enough. This right here was a clip of Barack Obama's presidency. There were so many posters, people supporting him, so many magazines of him and his wife. It's like, this made me so happy. This was a time of joy for black people. Clip right here was a massacre. There's a black man being murdered around all these white people. I believe there's also a white man that was murdered in the process. But this was just like a very like eye-opening photo. It's kind of disturbing to look at, but figured I'd include it on here. This next one was sit-ins at drugstores. Back in the day, a lot of people did sit-ins to protest segregation, and they figured, you know, if we sit in these white spaces, if we infiltrate these white spaces, that maybe we'll finally get the freedom that we deserve, the rights that we deserve, the equality that we deserve, because we're human beings just like everyone else. And I don't know why it was such a big deal that we had to be separated, but you guys were more than welcome to pause to read. This kind of leads into my next point. These are the Greensboro Four. I believe there's a gentleman missing, but the Greensboro Four were essentially four men that sat inside of white restaurants and sat at the tables that they weren't supposed to sit at because they were seating for black people only, and they were just kind of infiltrating these spaces and finally got some people on board. Y'all know this is my stand, so I had to include this, and this is me in front of it as well because I just thought it was beautiful to look at. This next one, not even trying to be funny, but I think that people will still need this book, although I don't know the contents of what's inside of it, but I don't agree with the cover either. But as far as the title goes, yeah, y'all could use some lessons. This next one here was the Fair Housing Act. I didn't really do my research on it, but I definitely think that it's worth the read. I probably will do some more research on it, but if you're more than welcome to look into it and, you know, like educate me on what's in it. As some of you may know, Tulsa, Oklahoma was a city in Oklahoma that black people kind of built their own neighborhoods. And, you know, once the white man found out that we were doing that, they pretty much burnt the community that they built to the ground. And not only did they kill a whole bunch of people, there's more facts included in it, but it's just like, it was ridiculous how many people they killed, and, you know, they just infiltrated their homes. We are the reason style exists. For example, Fat Albert, I know y'all remember this. This used to be my thing back in the day, like, and I'm not even a 90s baby, but this was a good John. And y'all know I had to get the dashiki in there because J. Cole said it best. He was like, I done seen too many white people in dashiki. Stop. And yeah, stop. I just kind of want to like recap real quick. So that was really like my experience with the museum. There was a lot more that I could have included, but I didn't want to make this video like an hour long. I did take a lot of pictures and videos, but I will say that like you really have to experience it for yourself. I mean, to get in, the tickets are free. It is in DC, so if you don't live in DC, it's about a 4-hour commute from where I'm at. I highly suggest getting the opportunity to go and really just kind of like soak in all of your history. Even if you aren't black or you're not, you know, African American, like even if you're Nigerian or Jamaican, whatever the case may be, like this still ties to you in some sort of way. Even if you're white, like a lot of people that were in there that weren't black or from African descent, I would assume that they were using it to educate themselves. I mean, you know, you never know someone's intentions, but like that's the gist that I was really getting. There was even an Emmett Till exhibit in there. And unfortunately, we couldn't take pictures due to the family's privacy. Like they didn't want someone just kind of like letting that float around social media, you know, in this day and age. But I will say that like it was eye-opening. Like it was, and capturing, it was, you know, I was like speechless when I was in there. You know, and I'm listening to the video that was playing, and I was reading all the information that was on, you know, in front of the picture and in front of the casket that they had in there, and it was just like, you know, that like these are real events. Like this is not just something that just like, you know, was a fever dream or, you know, like this was real. Like this happened, you know, like and I have a hard time coming to terms with stuff like that, but it's like you really have to want to educate yourself. You do. And I think that if you don't want to, you're going to continue to be ignorant to it. I will say that like I didn't have a family that was really like ingrained in their history. My dad, I lived with him pretty much my whole life, and he's not someone who really like got into the nitty-gritty of history and how they treated us. And he was born in the 60s, So my mom was born in the 70s, you know, shortly after. So, but one thing I will say is, like, you know, as I've gotten older and I've been in different cultures and I've been in different rooms, I've been having conversations with different people, I definitely felt out of place because I didn't know a lot. You know, I learned about the Greensboro 4 maybe 2 weeks ago. I knew about the Montgomery boy bus boycott. Montgomery bus boycott from high school, but I don't remember everything about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's little things and like major events that they kind of taught us but didn't really teach us. Like, you know, I was going to Twitter one day and somebody was like, I think that slavery was worse than what we think it is today. And, you know, I was doing my research and it was just like, they hung us, they killed us, they enslaved us, they kidnapped us, they separated us, they used our body for meat, they used our body as, I don't want to say shelter, but as clothing. They used us for free labor. Like, the list is endless, and we are exhausted and we're not even living in that day and age. And don't get me wrong, like, it's hard sometimes to just be an activist. Like, it's hard because you have to constantly like reliving these things. I just found a video about a gentleman that was killed, like, cold blood by police officers. I'm talking about, they weren't even in uniform at this point. And, you know, like, anybody that's randomly just running up to my car and civilians, like, who are you and why are you in my face? Cop busted his window and shot him. Just kept shooting him. I don't know what the pretense of the situation was, but, like, in what world? Like, this dude had to be like a serial murderer. And I still at that point don't even justify that killing. You're not the jury. You're not the judge, jury, and executioner as a cop. Your job is to arrest these people and let the jury decide. Let the judge decide. That's literally not your job. You're supposed to detain these people to get them a not free, but fair trial. And sometimes that's not even the case. We kind of know how the justice system works. It's pinned against us. That's literally where cops came from. And I wonder why that wasn't in the museum. And if it was, I didn't see it. Because cops were slave patrol. They would round up slaves that had escaped. And that's why the prison system is the way that it is now. That's why black people account for more of the prison population than white people. Although white people are the majority. It's kind of weird how that works. But I don't want to make this video too long. Like I said, if you get the opportunity to go, I highly suggest it. Learn about your history. You know, I'm 21 years old and I wish I would have knew more now than I wish I would have knew more by now, and I don't. And it saddens me because I'm like, when I have kids, I want them to know as much about their history as possible, because history has a way of repeating itself if you don't understand it and you don't acknowledge it. And not to say that that's necessarily for us to know, but like, if we have a way of preventing it, I would want, you know, my kids and the kids that they surround themselves with to do that. I want the children that I decide to bring into this world to have a better outlook on life in general. I want them to be cautious and aware of their surroundings and how they treat people and how they speak to people, sure. But I also want them to know that your voice has power. Use it. We didn't come this far to us to revert back to how it used to be. We didn't come this far to sit here and be like, yep, I'm just gonna allow this to happen. Like, no, we have power. And that's what a lot of people are afraid of, because when we start standing up, when we start using our voices, there's power in numbers and there's power in this black community. We might be the first to be bickering back and forth, and we might not always stick together, but we stick together when it counts. So if you're listening to this, you don't have to take what I'm saying. You can take it with a grain of salt. I just hope that if this doesn't resonate with you, that maybe you're around somebody and it resonates with them, or maybe this does resonate with you and you decide to share it with somebody else. Like I said, the museum is in DC. The tickets are free. You just have to go on the website and book a reservation so that they, you know, can account for how many members are going to be in there. If you go on a weekend, I will say it's probably crowded. They're open, I believe, from like 10 to 5. So you have pretty much like 4 floors to explore. It's kind of a tongue twister. But with that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go. You guys have a great rest of your night. Please for your sake, do your research. Get ingrained in your community. Have a better outlook for your community. And yeah. With that being said, y'all have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys again on Tuesday. Bye.